The round of 12 starts this weekend at the Texas Motor Speedway. Then we'll move on to Talladega. And finally, the Roval, where the Cup Series playoff field will be cut from 12 to 8. We'll talk about it next on NASCAR American Motormouths. And welcome, everyone, to NASCAR American Motormouths. Marty Snider, Kim Coon, Dale Jarrett joining you here. DJ, I think it's pretty easy when you look at the track layouts, but all the drivers are worried about this round. Explain why.
Just because of the difficulty that each presents in itself. Texas fast mile-and-a-half racetrack that even though a recent, if you will, repave has some grip still in it, it becomes a handling racetrack. And it just literally is one that takes your breath. So we know that the racing, not going to be exactly Atlanta mile-and-a-half style, but we're going to see a lot of tight action happen throughout the evening. And then, just the unpredictability of the next two at Talladega. We know what can happen there. Can you survive? Can you make it through? And then the road was just such a difficult challenge, especially as a cut race. So it lines up. I don't know. I would never do this to drivers, put these three races together, but this is what the schedule puts out.
I'm with DJ. The first race of this round is going to be so important. Maybe, I think, in my opinion, the most important first race of a round in the playoffs, period. And that's because Talladega and Charlotte ROVAL are just chaos. And as we talk about chaos, I actually think that there was a little chaos in round one, but definitely not as much as I think we expected. So I feel like all that chaos is kind of harboring and festering, and I think we're gonna see it play out in the second round of the playoffs.
So Kim, to DJ to Kim's point, Texas being, you agreed, it's the most important race in this round because you don't want to rely on Talladega and you don't want to rely on the Roval either.
No, you can't. No, Kim's exactly right. This is the most important of any round. But, there's only going to be one driver probably that comes out, if there's even that. We have so many drivers that could possibly win this that are outside of the playoffs. So that could make things even more difficult for the playoff drivers that we have left. So you have to do everything right. No mistakes whatsoever. If you have any mistake at Texas as a playoff driver right now, you're going to find yourself in a huge hole that's going to be hard to climb out of.
I would argue maybe Vegas is a pretty important race too, because that's the first driver who advances to the championship if you're a playoff driver and you can win that race. So Kim, then it sounds like everybody in the field is worried about this race, this round coming up, but give me a driver who's maybe looking forward to this round, and give me a driver who you are indeed worried about in this round when you look at the three tracks coming up.
I think it's hard to say Denny Hamlin isn't looking forward to this round, only because he did so well in the first round. They have so much momentum. And then he did the tire test earlier this year at Texas. And I know there's debate on whether a tire test really is beneficial. I think it is. It's extra laps on a track that's in the playoffs. Hamlin even said he felt like they had a better baseline than some of the other teams. And so I think that number 11 team definitely looking forward to it. Not looking forward to it, I'm going to say Kyle Busch. And that's because they just had such a difficult first round, and I don't see them being able to pick up the pieces from the troubles they had in the first round. I think we talked to so many drivers about what it was going to take to move on from the first round, and they all said survive. And for Kyle Busch, they were the ones that survived, and I just don't think that they're going to be able to survive this next round. They haven't showed me that they are the ones that are going to come out on top.
Yeah, good points there. When I look at this, I think this lines up really good for Chris Buescher. This is a driver that performs and has shown us that he's able to perform at every type track. So I don't know that there is a track in this lineup. If there is one, it might be the speeds of the Ford at Texas, but he seems to be able to be better than most of the other Fords. And I look for him to be at least in the top 5, if not battling for a win at Texas. So I think the other two, then he's very comfortable racing at Daytona, Talladega, and he's shown that he can do everything he needs to do on a road course. So I think this is a great opportunity for him. The driver that I'm very, very concerned about is Martin Truex Jr. They just are not performing. They're not performing from the start and the drop of the green flag. They put themselves in a hole. They don't have speed. They're making mistakes. I know they've got a great cushion, but we also saw how quickly that can evaporate if you don't do things properly. So I'm very concerned. Can this team get through this? Talladega, not one of his best places, and we know anything can happen at the Roval.